Hi, this is Kelly from kkbgenealogy.com. I'm here to tell you about part 4 of my video series on how to use land deeds for genealogy research. First, before we can go look into any land deed or index, we need to know who are you looking for. For this particular video, we're going to be looking for a John Belk. Where should you look? Normally, census will tell us where to look. So we know through census that he lives in Lancaster, South Carolina. Here he is on the 1810 census, right here, Jan Belk. So we know that he's there. Now we will jump over into the family search catalog under South Carolina, Lancaster County. Scroll down again, open up your land and property. Go to your conveyance that already opened into a new window. We want to look for the deed index that matches what we found on census. So this deed index is from 1787 to 1875, which is right. We also see that maybe there's an additional direct index and an indirect index. So we can cross-index to these deeds with 1784. So let's take this is the first one. This is all handwritten, and all we get in this particular deed book is grantor to grantee. There's no reverse where the grantee to the grantor. So if you do not have the grantee index, you would have to go through all of the grantor index to find somebody you are looking for that bought land. That explains that. We're going to go start here at the beginning, and we're looking for John Belk. So pulling this up, we see A, surnames. We see a gap, so let's pull that up. Now we're in the B's, and we will scroll real quick until we find Belk. If I go too fast, it's only because I'm doing a video here. From the top and work our way down so we don't miss anything here. There we go. We have John Belk selling to Robert Montgomery. Oh, and it's in Deed Book D, page 226. So we need to go to the conveyance books, volumes A to D, 1787 to 1799. Open this up in a new tab if it's all possible. If not, you'll have to write down which deed book and which page number you need to. Okay, well, immediately what I see here is there's indexes at the beginning of this book. But as you can see in the most earliest one, parts of it is missing. Pages have been ripped out, or at least been torn over for age. If this should happen, you're going to pretty much signal that you're going to want to go through this entire book A to make sure that none of your ancestry is in this deed book, because the index is not all there, and it might not be transferred into the independent deed books. You can check that, but if you do not find something before a previous time, you're going to want to really browse through it page by page. And look to see who's selling and who's buying. Like on the 1787 deed, we'll have some language. So we know between Joseph Cox and his wife, Anne. So that's a good signal right there. And that's the first part, so that's normally the grantor. And Daniel Kirkland, who's living in Lancaster already, it's the second part, so that's the grantee and the state. So you do want to kind of go all the way through them. Takes time, but sometimes you got to do that. It's another cot with his wife Anne. He sells another one to Daniel Kirkland. Since page is ripped, you can go down here and look here. And you're going to keep doing that page by page until you get to the end of the book. But we need deed book D. So D is in dog. And we know that A, B, C, D, so this has to be at the last of this image since we need D and there's A, B, C, D in this digitized session. We will need to go to the very last book. So with that, zoom out even further. I mean, you can go really small like this, and let's wait till the page to load. And then you just use your click and drag, or your up and down. In this case, it would be your up page on your keyboard until you see the very last volume start, which is right here. We're just going to double click on it, bring it, zoom it right in, be sure that it's deed book D, and it is. And we need page 226. So we're going to zoom out just a little bit more. We're going to try page 220. That's at 148. Zoom way out again. This is the fastest way I found to do it. If not, we're getting really close, so let's go ahead and change our numbers to, there's only 569 images, so let's go 540. Not quite there. Let's see, 5 would be 10, so let's go 20 pages. Okay, let's keep shooting over it, so let's go use our previous button here and go back. There it is. Page 226, correct? Correct. Let's see. There he is at the bottom of the page. Search here at the bottom, so we see John Belk. He's already in Lancaster County. He's a farmer. And he's accepting 20 pounds of sterling by the hand of Joseph Montgomery. Now the land deed said Robert Montgomery. This is Joseph. Either the man is Robert Joseph Montgomery, or there's actually an error in the index. So something you will have to check out outside the deed index. And this is telling us that the parcel of land contains about 385 acres, more or less. It was originally surveyed on this date. It's situated in said county. It's on the branches and drains of Bear Creek, which is a prong of Cane Creek, bounded northeast by Glass Caston's land. So that's another key person, is their neighbors. Especially if you're looking for somebody like two John Belks, and one's next to Small, and the other one's next to Canston, you pretty much know that this is probably the John you want, because his neighbor is the same as it is on census. Okay, and we just kind of go down there and read that he forfeits all the land to Joseph and his heirs. He signs it with his mark. The other part that's really important in this is the presence of, that these are the witnesses. So A. Alexander could possibly be either a neighbor or a relative. Same with Thomas Dunlap and Samuel Dunlap. Another thing I want you to make sure you check is this lower statement. These are your witnesses. But also in here, one part of the judges of the county aforesaid do hereby certify all who concern that Hannah Belk, who is the wife of this John Belk. So we know this John Belk that we're looking at, his wife's name is Hannah. If we were looking at another John Belk deed, and his wife wasn't Hannah, but let's say Sally, then we might not have the right Belk, because his wives are not the same. So maybe this is John Belk Jr., and the other one was John Belk Sr. So And at times they do not put senior or junior on deeds. So that is very helpful to know. And here she is down here leaving her mark. And this is when it was recorded in 1799. Okay, let's try another one. Let's go ahead and close this out. And we're just going to grab just anybody from, let's say we're going to look up, let's go a little further. Let's go to the next page. Okay, well, here's one right off the bat. We're looking for an 1819 bilk, which starts with a D for the first name, who sold something to John Mackenzie. Okay, well. Our book is I, and it's on page, where'd it go? Keep going. Page 141. So come back to the conveyance books landing page, and we're going to look for I, and this is conveyance book volumes F to I, 1800, 1819. Looks like we're going to be in the same situation with volume D. Volume I is going to be at the very end of this digitized session. So once we're here, we will go ahead and we're going to go, just going to do the zoom out. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Just zoom all the way out. Wait for all the image thumbnails to load. And then we're just going to go down till we see the last break, which is way over here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Shrink down my screen for you. It's right here. This is and this is the very last volume because there's no break. So we're going to click on it just to be sure. Zoom it all the way up. Yes, we're on book I. And we need pages, we need page 141. It's 53. 144. Boy, I was pretty close on that one. So we're just going to back up. Actually, I see a signature, but that's not the start of the pages here. Okay, so we know, well, there's 141. And it's down here at the bottom. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. The Darling Belk, in consideration of the sum of so many dollars, was handed by John Mackenzie and the district aforesaid merchant. So we also know that John Mackenzie was a merchant. And he sells John Mackenzie all the certain piece of parcel of lot in the village of Lancaster, bounded by the said Darling. So we know he must have another piece of property next to this particular lot. And east by John Mackenzie, so John Mackenzie's also already got another lot next to this one. And it says it's on Cotabawa Street. Hopefully I said that right. Going to turn the page. See if it gives us any other details. I nope, we give him the rights, and the grantee the rights, John Mackenzie and his heirs forever, and etc. Right here is our witnesses. So it's Tom Williams Jr. and Francis Ingram. Darling leaves his signature. This is Williams' witness statement. And that would be it. And you'll see a wife statement on this one. And that's how we find land deeds, using land deed indexes. Again, I want to go over, if you don't see indexes up here and they just have land deeds or conveyance books, always don't be disappointed too much. You just need to click on it, enter the deed book, and you can almost tell there's a deed index in these because that's the way the pages are set up. Let's see if we want to go to the second book. The second book is the same way. So we just zoom in on that. You have to browse them, just like we did the index. and see if there's anybody of interest in here. As I described in the part 3 video, some of these indexes are also at the end of the book. So you want to make sure you check both the beginning and the end for an index. If not, then you'll have to go from page 1 and scroll all the way through the book. It's time consuming, but at times it's needed. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was helpful to you. Thank you, and see you in video 5, where I'm going to go into a little more detail about county changes in land deeds. Since it is a more advanced class, I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.